It's the IMO pod with 3 young kings, Sukali, DT and Uzi on this. In my opinion, we're the pod of the year. We mix the banter with the edutainment. Sukali, you know, be the girl them sugar. Don't talk DT, designate driver. Tumichi Susa, Uzi takes it too far. You never know how far you can go if you don't try. We and them boys, we're not cohesive. Money.
So it's like the knock-on effects are
tremendous.
Tremendous.
And I feel like that's the part that people don't see. The people from the outside looking in don't see. And then that's why it's like, obviously with when Sukali went through his situation, like, because I was there as much as I could, right? I even took you to view
The body.
to view the body as well, all of that. So it's like, I'd never seen him broken like that. Like, you know, he's always been that guy, you know, like with the girls, you know what I mean? He's always like that guy. But then it's like, when you just seen him, like, just broken, it's like it was a shadow of himself. And I'm thinking, like, that's nuts. I was just looking at it. And then apart from that, then I'm looking at, and I think you're talking about the knock-on effect, like, I'm looking at the whole family. Everyone's just broken to pieces. Everybody, like, literally broken down. And it's like, and I saw your dad, and he was like keeping it together. Like, and then seeing him from when the man been keeping it together for the family, and then seeing him broken down when he saw the body. And then I could never forget when he came outside from the room where they kept the body, and he came outside and he just broke down, bro. I was like, it's like a whole different type. Like, I know obviously I can't feel anywhere close to it, but I felt like, I don't know what I felt like. Nah, this is crazy. And then I feel like a lot of people don't see the impact of that. It's like, it's almost like people act off on impulse, whatever it is they're going through, and do one act that ruin, like, I'm talking about an entire family, like, just ruin them. Like, people don't think about, you know, like, decisions and their actions and stuff like that, like the repercussions and some of that. And I feel like people just need to do better out there controlling their emotions and just, I don't know.
That was very
genuinely
key,
don't know.
what you said.
I think obviously what you're saying, that's one thing, but like I said, because obviously I was born in Africa, yeah, and I've moved on to I've come to this country when I was like 12, yeah, and I started noticing like some differences in behaviour. You know what I mean? Because where I come from, you got a problem with a man, you have a fight with them.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
boom.
No one gets
100%.
involved. You have a fight. Whoever beats each other up, okay, that's it. You go your separate way. You go home. You dust yourself off. I'm coming here. I'm seeing you have a problem with one man. You're getting attacked by 10 man. Like, this don't make no sense.
Yeah.
What happened to men? Do you know what I mean? If you're a man, you fight someone like a man. You don't.
Or
go
you have a
and
problem
bring
with one
weapons.
man, but because you can't find him, they go and
They
stab
got
someone
somebody else
else
that has
from the
nothing to
area.
do with someone that has nothing to do with nothing.
I think really and truly, they need to up the system. Like, if you kill someone, you got to go as well. Do you know what I mean?
Like, you talking about bring back the death penalty.
Yeah, they
Of
need
course.
to do that.
No,
I
but
don't think they've ever done
yeah.
that in this country.
As long as
At
they
one
can
point
get
it
the
was
right person, though, if it's the right
Yes.
person that do it.
No, they used to have it used to be in place back, and I
Yeah.
think one of the reasons why they abolished that again is because, like, when sometimes, you know, I don't know if you watch that program where they used to open back old files.
Yeah,
and
like
then
Innocent
start to look
Project.
into it, and you find that, like,
A lot
a
of
lot of
people.
people have been getting executed that didn't even do the
I
crime.
completely understand. But I think with this pandemic epidemic that we've got with knife crime, I definitely think that would make a lot of people
Something
think
harsh.
twice.
I genuinely feel like
twice.
something
I
harsh.
think
Yeah,
something's changed where we've got this culture where people are going
just
out there
soft.
just doing it.
just doing whatever.
Doing
Just
Doing
it's
whatever,
normal.
like, yeah,
It's normal now.
normal,
Yeah.
But I think there needs to be something in place that makes them
100%.
think, not make it so easy to go out and be like, yeah, I'm going to stab a man. For what? Like,
No, I
think
agree,
about it.
yeah.
Because in America, you stab someone, you could get 1,000 years in prison. 1,000 years.
So
You know what I mean?
imagine you're taking someone's life and you're saying, okay, cool, you're put in jail for life, but you're still alive.
Yeah.
It's not only that, you
But
know.
even that, life doesn't mean life here as well.
Exactly.
So-
And now
Yeah,
when you go, but listen, they have more rights than us. They're the perpetrators. Have more rights than us. Because I went in, when we had the trial, I went in last minute. I went in the day when they summed up everything. I went in, and then we had to come back the next day, which that was the Friday. We had to come back the Monday. Then Jamal was found guilty of murder. If you heard a mom in the gallery shouting and screaming, it's a lie, I will appeal. Straight away, she was able to put in an appeal, and I couldn't say a thing. She put in an appeal, then they kept on calling. Then come the December of 2016, I have to go back into the Court of Appeal. And can you imagine this boy? Because they did it via the
Video?
video, video link.
Video link, yeah.
This boy, when the three judges telling him how he killed my son, this boy was laughing, and his mom didn't show neither the boy nor the mom
No remorse.
no remorse. And in court, he's pushing the how you call them, the prison guard,
Yeah, but
and come back and say to the lady on the day when they sentence him, I'll be okay. Now, can you imagine me upset and I catch this boy, I'll finish him. When I asked the detective, I said to them, could you just give me 1 minute, a few minutes with him? Just allow me to do. She said, Miss Plummer, what are you going to do? I know you know the Scotch bonnet pepper. I would take his nail, pick them one at a time, and rub it on it. And he said, no, Miss Plummer, we're not allowed.
yeah, I don't think.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But that should be allowed, though.
No, but that's how you
should be
feel
allowed.
because you see their behavior, the way they act. Can you imagine this boy laughing, He's laughing on the screen. Hence the reason why I'm finding it
That's
so
painful,
difficult
man.
for me to
That's painful.
forgive.
Because maybe you could have forgiven had they
Yes.
shown a bit of
Yeah.
remorse.
Exactly. But he didn't show no remorse. Laughing and laughing. And I felt so hurt. And then I took probation to court. Oh, don't even ask about this one. Everything was just about him. It was nothing about my poor Shaquan. This boy just killed my Shaquan, and that was it. And he's living life.
You know, when on our way here, you were talking about some of the impacts of his loss that you wanted to share. Like
Me,
just to get the message home of how it's
right,
impacted
what it
you and
do,
your
it
health.
affect me so bad in a sense where before Shaquan died, I used to suffer with BIH, which is benign intracranial hypertension, which is fluid building on the brain. So I normally go into the National Hospital for neurology and they withdraw the fluid from my spine because I used to suffer with a lot of headache. Now that can cause blindness, but I can get my sight back with treatment. Then they said they could put a shunt in for me. So the third time when they withdraw the fluid, the lady withdraw too much. So she left the brain with no fluid around it. So I was sick. I was sick for a long time. Then they called me to go back into the hospital, and the man said, I'm sorry, Miss Plummer, you cannot come back home. We need to you need to stay. So I said, am I going to die? They didn't answer. I said, just give me some time to say goodbye to my children, and then I will come back. He said, no, Miss Plummer. So I went back into the hospital. I stayed in there for 2 to 3 weeks, and then I was able to come back. And when I got back home, I was taking just the medication for the BIH, and then I was taking another thing for the multiple ulcer. So that was 2 tablets I was taking. And I'm already suffering with depression. And I used to take the depressant tablet. And by the time Shaquan, are you okay?
Sorry. I'm just,
Oh, you can cough. Yeah.
Don't be scared,
Yeah.
don't cough.
no, I
Don't
didn't
hold
want to
it
lie. But I'm just, yeah.
By the
Sorry.
time Shaquan died, I was supposed to bring the medication. If you see the medication I'm on now, I have to take 1 set, which is about 9 or 10 of them in the morning. And then I've got another lot to take at tea time, at lunchtime, and then I take another set at nighttime. And I'm struggling now to sleep. So I will be up, I will go bed, and like everybody, 12 o'clock, so you'll fall asleep. I won't fall asleep now until like about 6, 7 in the morning. And then the loss of hair. But it's mainly to the front and the back. It just comes out in big chunks. So I went to the hospital. They said I've got alopecia, which is to do with the stress.
and the
So
trauma.
what I do is I collect them in a bag and I bring the medication and I show the children the impact of Shaquan's death. The amount of tablet I'm taking now compared to before Shaquan's death. I suffer with so many different illnesses that sometimes I don't know whether I'm going to be alive today or I'll be gone. But I've got the support of my daughter, and I try to hide from them. Like I say, Tanesha, them get most of it because sometimes I know not all the time because sometimes I don't want to burden them
Don't
with
want to worry them.
yeah
But
because
then that's
it's
the whole point is that we get it. We completely get it, and it's never a burden.
Ever.
It's never.
no, but that's how you feel because I've got
Yeah.
mothers calling me,
No.
so many mothers calling me, and they're asking me about the court case, what will happen, and I talk them through the whole thing. And then I will invite them to come places, but sometimes they don't want to come because try and introduce them to come to the love and loss. But some
Too
of them
much for
say
them.
no, they
They're
don't
not
want
ready.
to.
It's not for everyone, and everyone's at different stages,
Yeah.
and it's difficult. Like even me, sometimes, like when I know we've got the group on, sometimes I'm just like, all right, it's hard to get out the
Gotta
door.
get the
It's
strength.
hard
I swear to
you're
you.
like, okay, I need to
gather the
build up
strength.
to get the strength.
You know what gets me
But I
out? though?
always feel better. I know that I always
That's
feel
Once
better.
it's done,
No,
Once we're there,
you're happy
once
you went.
Once we've all sat down, we've laughed,
With
we've
Kiki.
cried, with Kiki. Like we talk about everything and anything.
We do
We talk
everything.
about everything and anything.
And because I'm the
And
only
it's
guy
like-
there, I just see these lot as like, I mean, you know the beauty salon where you go and
you get
everyone's-
to hear
they
You get the tea.
they
Yeah, the
hear
tea.
all my problems. They'll give me advice and stuff. And she's right. Though a lot of the times when I struggle to
Yeah,
go,
what gets you out the door?
is it's normally her mum. To be honest, it's the
Really?
respect
Yeah.
that I've told her mum I'm coming.
Yeah.
So I don't want to let her.
You don't wanna let her down,
I don't want to
yeah,
let her
yeah,
down.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
And that's the main
I love
thing.
that,
But there's a
though.
lot of times where I don't want to go. Like you guys, like you lot have said, and I really appreciate you sharing how it's impacted me. Like my brother's death till this day, I'm not the same. I feel like I'm on autopilot.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I feel like a lot of people rely on me.
I'm sorry, there'll be times where, and I don't know if probably he knows he does this, but there'll be times we'll just be doing random stuff, and then he might see something that he knows maybe his brother likes, or like something that his brother, he'll be like, oh, he would have loved to do that, you know, if he was here. Like he would just do those things randomly, but I don't know if he knows I catch that all the time. I just look
No,
at
I
him,
know.
damn.
I know.
But
I'm
he does
crazy.
that a lot, yeah.
I'm
I'm
a
just saying.
functioning lunatic. That's what I am, honestly, because I loved my brother so much, and the fact that, like you said, the impacts people don't understand. When you take someone's life, you're not just taking their life; you're taking the families with you. My family's never been the same. Like you said, my family's now broken because of the passing. Everyone dealt with grief differently. My dad's got different medical problems now. I don't feel like I function. I feel like everyone thinks I'm all right, but deep down I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not okay. Like I have a lot of issues, but because I know that if I crumble, a lot of things will crumble. I need to stay alert. But I just want the message to get home to the mandem that, look, you may have issues with one guy. Try to resolve your issues. Never resort to taking someone's life. And if you do get to that point, don't put the family through a trial. Because in England, you can just bet your chances. Let me see what happens. I might bust case, as they call it. But if you know you did it, don't do that. Because do you know how daunting it is to go to court and look at someone day in, day out, knowing they took the life of your loved one, and then in the end you could find not guilty, and then you see them celebrating.
Yeah, I know.
It's true.
You see them celebrating. You know what I mean? And it's like, I don't think them actually understand the impacts. And that's why I felt it would be great, especially your story on the medication. And I know she forgot it, but she wanted to show us the amount of medication she's taking now. All because someone took her son's life.
And I think to what Uzi was talking about earlier on, I feel like what he's saying as well. I wasn't born here. Similar experiences coming from back home, but I feel like UK, a lot of people are cowards.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is.
I didn't want to use that.
No,
You
I
can
wouldn't
use
use
it.
that
They
word.
wouldn't
No, they're
survive
cowards.
back home.
Oh, they wouldn't.
Because we have something like back home, right? Especially the part that I was from. If you kill someone's son, right, all of a sudden, like the whole neighborhood, they get around, they'll set tires around you and set you on fire.
Yeah,
They're not waiting for the police to come and
They're
get
not.
involved and do nothing
There's
like that.
very few
They're
murder
doing
trials.
Yeah, exactly, very few.
Yeah.
And that's
Because-
where you don't get situations like that.
that's
We're
why
gonna
people don't
fight.
do it.
That's what I'm saying. We're gonna fight. Dust yourself up. We're gonna, go back and probably be friends again next week. But and then that's another thing people don't understand. I don't know if you remember this back growing up. When you fight somebody, you actually become even closer.
Yeah.
When right?
You
But
respect
right
each
now,
other.
these kids are not giving themselves even the opportunity to live to see tomorrow.
Like,
They just, and then when you find some of the reasons why that person stabbed that person, or
Because of
the whole
postcodes.
gang, it's some of the most dumbest things. And then people they're ruining lives over life. And a lot of them is because, again, like you said, about cowardness. And all these other kids, again, nobody wants to be victims of a knife crime. So all these youths, they're carrying knives just to for the sake of this, protect themselves. But at the same time, when you're carrying a knife, naturally, if you do get into a situation, you're gonna escalate that situation.
exactly.
Just because you know you have a weapon, there's gonna be some sort of element so don't put yourself in a predicament where you might end up having to use something that you know you're not supposed to be having.
And I
on
think
you.
statistically, if you carry a knife, it's more than likely going to be used against you.
Against you.
Against you, yeah.
See?
And I was actually going to bring up some statistics. Almost 50,000 knife crime offences in the last 12 months. 11,500 were recorded in London in the 12 months September. And I wanted to say...
Wait, sorry. You said 50,000
knife crime offences, yeah, in the last 12 months.
12
and
months.
then 282 of those resulted in a murder, yeah. And 99 young people aged 25 were murdered with a knife or sharp objects in the 12 months to March 2022, which is just crazy numbers.
That's the number one killer.
Now, I remember growing up, like, I'm not gonna lie, a lot of the guys we know carried knives, but I feel like a lot of them were doing it for protection. They were scared. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I wanted to ask you guys, as guys, like, what do you think makes someone say, "All right, I'm scared, but I'm still gonna carry a knife"?
Because you don't want to be a victim. That's what I'm saying. Like because you know everybody is carrying it, and you know whenever which is what I'm saying. Like we've been there as well to a degree, right? Growing up as boys, right? Like you know that you've been in situations, you've seen how situations get. You know some of the guys you might hang around with, or some of the guys you don't hang around, but you're not so cool with, but everyone's kind of cordial. But you know the ones that carry knives, you know them. You understand what I'm saying to you? And you know that when there's been altercations or little situations happened, you've seen who was the aggressor. So more times when you're saying that, no, I don't want to be the victim. I don't end up wanting to be the one to even get stabbed in the first place. So you know what? I better protect myself. So I'm going to carry one with me anyways. And that is some of the cases. You understand? Obviously, you have the other people might be into selling drugs or doing whatever.
Gangs,
they carry one to
yeah.
protect themselves. And then so different people, some other people might be in a gang. So different people have different reasons carrying it. But my main thing is just that I don't see the whole, because for me, I feel like stabbing someone is one of the worst ways of killing people. Like I don't understand.
And have you seen the knives they're using?
And then
It's
like
like
some of them are
machetes
carrying.
and zombie knives.
There's definitely something going on where I just feel like a lot of these people, they just lack basic compassion.
Basic.
Human beings. Like, how do you just go and do that to someone? Someone that's probably not even really done you anything. Do you know what I mean? Unless maybe they've killed someone in your family, done something.
Do you know what I mean? Like people do it for money. Because this person ran away with my money.
And stabbing someone. So there's some lack of compassion, man.
Quick question for you guys as well. Sorry. Like, do you guys think I just want to say maybe the laws like we were talking about earlier on, the government, and because of my lack of compassion and stuff like that. Because I remember back in our days, like when we were growing up, there used to be a lot of the youth centers, like the YMCA's, different hubs where we could go to, to let our head down, play sport, do music, do whatever it is, just to get you off the streets. But all of those things have been shut down now. Even remember we used to have Connection back in those days. This is so different, so many different avenues. But now all of those things got closed down. They stopped funding. Those things don't really exist. Kids don't really have nowhere else to go but to form gangs outside. Do you lot feel like, to a degree, the government obviously has a part to play in some of this? Talking about these kids growing up with no compassion for one another.
Yeah, I do, because I know, like, you can look around and you don't see many youth clubs. You don't see many things for young people to do. So naturally, I feel like that's not going to be a positive outcome. You know what I mean? These kids are going to start entertaining themselves with what? God knows. They come together, they congregate, like they want to make money. Like even stuff like, I was saying when I went to college, there was like EMA, so that was
EMA.
But now you've got people feeling like they need to make money.
Where all the newest designers, social media. So
Exactly.
it's like a lot of the younger generation now, I feel like when we were growing up, we paid our dues.
Yeah.
I had to wear hand-me-downs until college. Do you know what I mean?
And there's no incentive for them to carry on in the education and stay with that. It's like, well, let me just go and make money.
Yeah, they just want to make money.
It comes with a whole nother,
They just want to make money.
aspects of
So
this.
either they're going to sell drugs or they're going to rob people. You see a lot of people getting robbed for their watches now. Do you know what I mean? And no regard for that person's life. They've worked hard for their money or whatever, and now you just feel like you just come steal it.
And
I
kill
feel
them
like
in the process.
the government is complicit, definitely complicit, and I feel like they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
They know what
Yeah,
they're doing.
because when you look at majority, I'm talking about, if we talk about the stats, right, it seems to be predominantly in the black community. And I just feel like there's no rush or haste of like trying to do
Figure out,
anything.
nah,
to
let
fix
them
it.
kill each other.
I do remember
Yeah,
reading
because
that.
they don't
Yeah.
want, they don't want to work together.
They don't.
Because everybody, the way I look at it is this one doing something called knife crime, and because this particular thing happened now, they'll talk about it now and gain all the people to come in.
Like they do for
And then-
politics, isn't it? Like,
Yeah,
it's almost
and
like-
a few days later, you hear nothing
moved
about
on.
it,
Back.
and they just want to make themselves known to, like, I'm doing
like
stuff.
they're doing something.
But with us, the problem we are facing, we do not know how to come together. If we were all to come together, because we noticed that, come on, the color of our skin is the wrong shade of white already.
By the way,
But we need to come together as one in order for us to be able to make that
to make
change
the
and
change
show
for
them.
ourselves anyways, yeah.
Exactly, because some of us mothers look at it like, okay, the government is responsible for our children. No,
No, yeah.
nobody told us to bring children into
That's
this world.
correct, yeah.
We chose to bring them, so we are responsible for them. And I raised my children like how I was brought up in the West Indies. You understand? Because I never had. I had a pair of shoes for church, for town, for school.
for everything.
You understand? And I had a carrier bag, where you all call the carrier bag, we call it nylon bag back home.
Yeah, nylon
with
bag.
one textbook in it. And that's how we were going. And a dry bread, you put your finger in it, pour some coconut oil, you squeeze the lime. Of course, you squeeze the lemon, put a little bit of vanilla essence, put the sugar, you freeze that, and you take that to school. That's how I was brought up. You could ask my mom.
I might try that when I get home, you know.
Of course,
That's like a little vibe, isn't it?
Sure, because it was just my dad working. My mom wasn't working. I didn't know what it was like to use washing machine.
Yeah.
It was your hands
to
and
use
the soap. You
That's
put the
right.
clothes, you put them, you separate them, the white, the colored. You carry it on your head and you go by the river, you wash. It never
river.
killed me. Of course. Did it kill me?
No,
It made me a
made
much
you
better
stronger.
because I was able to pass it on to my children. Shaquan was working 2 jobs plus doing his A levels. 2 jobs. He was working with Waitrose. He was working with Tottenham Hotspur. So on the Saturday he does Tottenham,
Yeah.
and a Wednesday to
days, yeah.
Friday he used to do it. Look, poor Andre. Andre works. Chantel is working. From Chantel graduated. Chantel never spent 1 day home. My Chantel is now learning to drive the train.
Come on.
Chantel is working with the Greater Anglia now. Come November, so my girl will be driving the train. And that's what she said, Mommy, the money is there. I did biochemistry. The money is not there because they don't want to push us. But I need to do it for me and for my child. You understand? So I'm here for my children. It's all about them. My life belongs to them because I chose to put them on this earth. And regardless, Chantel is 28, she's still representing me outside. So when I talked to her, what day was that? She said, Mommy, if I was listening to you, a lot of the things you say, you were right. But I wasn't listening. I said, you see? And look at her now. She said, now I'm going to listen to you. Shush, Mom, you think you're a little spice. But that's how I am. Whereas, now I look at, even now I'm going out, I look at the way I dress. Because Shaquan used to say, Mommy, look at your peng son. And Mommy, that's what he used to say. And he used to say, Mommy, you need to have a bit of swag. So now I try my best to have that swag. Because
You are
I'm
swagged out today.
Yes, I'm still representing him. He's not there, but he's still here. And I'm going to try my best, not for only my children. I'm going to do it for the kids outside because they're still my children too. You understand? You may bring them into the... Exactly. Because we're raising them to be better people. But it's us to come to them and they need to be prepared to... Exactly. And that's why I do the talk, because I love children. I don't care where they come from. I just love kids. And that's how I was back home in the West Indies. You comb in their hair, you put the ribbons. It's not like here where these children go to school. They have this thing. Back home, your white socks and your black shoes, your ribbon in your hair, everything matching back home. And the way they treat children here, if the teacher tell you off, you cannot go home and tell your mom. Oh, the teacher said this because you'll get licks too.
You get licks, innit? You get licks, innit?
Whereas over here, before the children come home and tell you this and tell you that, you go and you fight the teachers in the school. But it wasn't like that. Now, with Shaquan name, I did the same, and
But you
sometimes
did it
it's
from home.
yeah, exactly. So that's how I done it.
Discipline.
I went as far as becoming a parent governor in the school,
Wow.
just to help my children. But the school do things completely different from us. When you see you have a godmother and a godfather, you stand a chance. If you don't have that godmother and godfather, you stand no.
Tough.
Okay.
No, but no, I mean, sorry, just what she's saying there that made a point. Like, I feel like that is true. Like, there's not a lot of discipline in the schooling system in this country, even from school. Like back home, like you're talking about. Oh, we used to get whoops, like whips. Like, what are you talking about? You talking about?
You don't know that.
You get home. You didn't know that, did you?
Whips.
What?
We got whipped.
Serious?
You see, she don't know that. You see,
I didn't need to be whipped.
If a hand or your bum, you get home and you go and report to your mom or your dad, they're gonna whip you on top of that.
They're going to double your
Exactly.
sentence.
Like, they're gonna double it.
Then your neighbours might whip you.
Them on top of that, like, listen, you're getting whipped by the whole community.
It's
But
true.
guess what? Guess what? They're whipping you straight. What's it called? Straightening.
Exactly.
They're whipping you into shape.
Yeah.
But my main thing is that there's no discipline in
discipline
this
over
country
here, yeah.
with the kids growing
Because
up.
they have everything made
I
for
agree.
them. Yeah.
agree.
You lot have bus pass. We never had bus pass.
You gotta
We
walk.
have to walk to school.
Walk, yeah.
And when you come home, you don't have a proper, where you have that whole chicken for Sunday, you have that nice dinner Sunday, you have your little bowl of chicken backs, and you have to eat it with a green banana. Or the next morning, there's no bread. The breadfruit they cook from the night before, they roast it and give it to you to eat. Same with you go in the back garden, you pick the leaf from the orange tree, they boil the hot water on the pan, no kettle. You boil the hot water, you pour it on the leaf, add your sugar, and you drink it. It never killed me. It made me a much better person.
Yeah.
And when I tell Chantel them, she said to me, "Mommy, you're just old-fashioned." It's not old-fashioned because it helped me.
It raised you right, because even
Exactly.
me, like when I got sent back to Uganda, I was bad. Do you know what I mean? And I thought when I got there, I thought I was gonna do my same badness. The way they straightened me in that
Straightened
place,
out.
yeah.
Humbled.
I got used to, when you get caned in Uganda, you get caned in class, but then the weekly assembly they'll say everybody that got caned in class, come here and get
And
caned.
get caned
But-
again.
Cane you again.
Yeah, by the head teacher, because now the head teacher
because
has to cane you. Now the head teacher has to cane you, and he canes you in front of everybody, and they tell you everybody what you did. We had regiment. You had to wake up.
So
at
they would
5 a.m.
embarrass you.
Yeah, they
So
would
that way
embarrass
you don't do that thing
and
again.
you never do it.
You never do
there
it
was
again.
discipline, but here it's like you're even scared to discipline your children because
They'll call the police on you.
You'll call the police on you or whatever, and then they want to complain that the man them are out of hand.
Yeah, and
You
then
know what I
they
mean?
say that they're mad and they're
And the
Emotional wreck.
stupid thing where they have here, where they tell you they're going to exclude you from school. What part of back home they will exclude you? Your
they-
backside would stay in the
You'll be
school.
begging.
That's what doesn't make
Exclude.
sense because that's what a lot of these kids actually want.
Yeah,
You remove them from
exclude them.
school and then
So
they're
they
on
can
the
be
road.
out on the
There's
road, yeah.
nothing to do.
Selling drugs for
Yeah.
some,
Or
whatever
they're
it
going
is.
to a Peru, which is like 10 till 1. And they've got the rest
True.
of the day
And they got the
to
rest
do
of the day off.
Yeah.
No,
It's
it's
too much
bad.
freedom here, man.
No,
And
back
there
home
needs to be
there's
discipline.
no proof for you. You misbehave, you carry a knife. Listen, you're going to get it.
You're going to get
You're
it.
going to get it, but you have to stay in that school.
Yeah.
They're not sending you home
No.
to say where you go home. Even when you go to the secondary school is the same. You go to the the colleges, it's the same. They
Everything's
treat you
the
the
same.
same.
And the thing is, these things do have a massive knock-on effect. So you were just saying about you carry a knife, you get this, you get that. So the perpetrator that killed my cousin had been caught with a knife before.
See?
Ah, you see?
He got to do a course.
Ah.
See?
What was the
Did a
course
course.
about? What
Of
knives
course.
do? What,
And it
how
still
sharp
end
they
up
are?
taking
a
a-
knife awareness course. So something
knife
that could
awareness
potentially
course.
kill someone, murder someone.
Man's getting a
and
course
you sent
for it.
someone on a course.
This,
So
and
the next time
Yeah,
you
go
pick
on.
up a knife,
It's
He's
killed
Kill somebody
someone.
again.
I feel like they're behind on the level of how bad it's gotten. Like a course is beyond a course now. Like that ain't gonna change
you're
nothing.
going out into public, you're having a knife.
That's beyond them. I sit down. And
I don't
talk.
think a re-education is
Yeah,
gonna help.
there you
people.
go.
But
like-
he was found with a knife. You said he was carrying a knife before.
Yeah.
This one was done the one who killed Shaquan was done for attempted murder. I think the October or so.
Jesus.
He stabbed somebody, that person did not die.
So it's somebody
And
that's
then
known to them.
he went back again, and he was known to them with carrying knives. He went back again, stabbed and killed Shaquan. While he was on the run, he stabbed another person and put that person in a coma till the October of 2015. But my son was the one that didn't make it.
What is that?
So how can
missed
the law
opportunities.
allow these things to get on? But we need, as parents who lost our children for this violence thing, we need to all come together and for us to fight these people, because one or two of us cannot
We
do
can't
it on
do it
our
alone.
own.
Yeah.
We need all of us to come together to fight the justice system for them to change. Whereas I was talking to one mom, and the lady said, that's how things has changed. This lady said, oh, now she wants the stuff that the child had on. They say they're going to burn it. Whereas you gave me Shaquan's own, the one with all the blood you didn't give. But I asked for it back. I got Shaquan's trainers. I got his socks. I got the trousers he was wearing. Only they cut where the little patches where the blood was. You know, where he had, they didn't give me back his jacket. They gave me back one of his phone, but they gave me his wallet and stuff. So why is it so difficult for you to give back this lady her son's gold chain and to give her some of the things she's asking for? Whereas you have it.
Was, you know, even with the unfortunate passing of Chris Carver, apparently they've still got his Rolex.
Yeah.
Police still got his
See?
Rolex.
They don't
So
know
it's
where it is.
they don't know where it is. So it seems when
The
it's
same thing they did to the lady.
if
You
it's
see?
a good possession,
Yeah,
then
they
they don't know where it is.
Conveniently, it's disappeared.
It's just sad, and sadly, obviously, we've come to the end of the episode.
Yeah.
But before we go, I really wanted you guys to talk about, so obviously, your trust and the bleed kits that you do as well, just to raise awareness.
The bleed kit, I don't really know much, to be quite honest about it, but with the bleed kit, there's something in the bleed kit. I forgot the name of it.
It's okay. We'll put a link into
Right.
it. But, yeah.
That thing in the bleed kit, what it do, it helps save lives. So where Shaquan died of a hemorrhage, if they had that bleed kit at the time, Shaquan would have been saved, because all they do, they teach you, go on a training, they teach you how to work the thing in the pouch, in the little bag, and that thing could help stop the bleeding.
basically. Yeah, okay.
So hence the reason why I'm really for it, because that can help
that can
save
save lives. Yeah.
lives. So I'm trying to share it as far and wide as I can, and also helping parents who lost their children, just like myself. So I want to donate some on behalf of the Shaquan Sammy Plummer Foundation, donate some to some of the parents who
I've
lost their children, and get them to
yeah.
give me a photo of their son or their daughter, whichever, and I put it on it, and we have it in memory of them. So at least they have something there for their children, because I promised one to Jenny, and I'm going to do it. And there's another lady, but I need to get more funding. I don't get funding. The funding we get is via Shaquan Friends. They like my own children, so they provide a lot for me.
That's what I'm saying. There should be like some sort of foundation there
To help.
that helps fund, like, you know, some of the
There's
movements.
nothing
some of
like that.
There's nothing.
There's
You
no
have a
funding.
GoFundMe or anything?
No, I never do I have not done one. I need to do it. But what happened is Shaquan Friends normally have a football tournament
Okay.
every summer in July, where they raise money not only for the foundation, also they help the London Hospital, and they help my family. So in case I need something, say for example, I don't have the money, they get upset with me if I don't call them and say to them, you know what, I need help. They get really, really annoyed with me. Auntie Jess, Shaquan left us in charge of the family. So they want to do everything
those
for
boys,
me.
man.
And they've never left my side. From the day Shaquan passed, these children have still been there. They took me out on Shaquan's anniversary this year. They took me out for a meal, and I chose whatever I wanted to. They picked me up from my house, took me to the cemetery. They do a lot for me. They come in my house, they sit down, I cook for them. I'll do the big meal. They'll sit down, eat, and you'll never believe these boys are just Shaquan friends. You'll think they're my children too.
That's lovely.
Yes.
For me, my friends don't take me anywhere. So
Shaquan friends too. They're really nice.
We're taking you much over
I'm
today.
joking.
But I need to prepare a meal because you did miss the last one, did you? Well, you missed the last one.
me, I wasn't
I need to do no, but you wasn't there. She wasn't there then, innit?
Okay.
But the others came
Yeah.
round. Your mom came.
Yeah.
Your sister. Everybody came.
heard your cooking
And
was
I
amazing.
felt so good. You lot made me
He
so
wants an
happy.
invite. Can you just invite him?
Was he there? He wasn't in the group.
But I will
He
be
wasn't
there.
invited to
Whether
the
you
I'm
invite me or
Eva, so
not.
I want to.
Whether
Yeah.
she invites me or
Oh,
not.
you
I'm
were, but they
coming.
told you about it.
I am coming.
Listen, that day, I felt like me being back home because I was able to share that meal with so many of them, and we sat down. It just felt like a family. And when they left, Chantel said, "Mommy, they're so nice." So Chantel said, "But I would love to do it again because me, I go out all out. I do the rice and peas, the fried chicken, mac and cheese, everything.
Make my belly rumble.
Chicken
I know,
back.
you know like that.
I know you like chicken back.
My chicken back is my favorite because
Yeah.
I love the
Chicken-
bone. So
yeah.
I do chicken back, one pot with green bananas, a lot of pepper, sit down and eat it, crack my bones, and the dog don't get anything from me though. It's all mine. So I need to do it for you guys.
No, we'll
so I
do
think
it.
we should have a.
Hopefully, me and
We'll
Louisa
arrange
can be
it.
invited, hopefully.
We'll arrange it.
Do you want to
and do
say
it.
quickly your trust and love and support group?
Yeah,
And
so the group and organisation that I run with my family is called the Love and Loss Support Group. And essentially, we're just there to help and support other families that have been through and are going through what we're going through. We run the group, we come, we just talk. You don't have to talk if you don't want to talk. If you feel like coming and you just want to sit there and chill, that's fine. If you want to come and you want to tell your story or tell what's been happening, that's also fine. Sometimes we just talk about what's been going on in our lives. But just know that everyone in that room has an understanding of what you're feeling, what you're going through, and whether it's angry at that time, whether you're sad, whether you're, whatever you're going through, we all have an understanding, and that's essentially what we're there for, just to support more families. Unfortunately, we get new families, which in a way it's like it's horrible to know that people are still
going
going
through
through
this,
this, and
yeah.
they've just begun this devastating
This
journey.
journey, yeah.
So it's horrible, but at the same time, it's like if you could be anywhere and know that people are there for you and they get it, then it's going to be with the Love and Loss Support Group.
I recommend it very highly.
Is that on online? Do you have social media? Anything social?
Yeah, so I'll have to give you the link.
Yeah,
We
give me
have
the
a
link.
website,
Yeah.
and then you can reach out for the website. We've got a phone number. And we just try and help with anything that you'll go through, because I think there's so many different things that as a result of that, you like someone committing that act, there's so many other things that
That
you
you will
go
need.
through
Yeah.
that you might not even think about. It's like, who thinks about burying their 18
Yeah.
Yeah,
year old
yeah.
son? Where do you get that money from? Where do you know what I mean? There's so many things. It's like you're just thrown into this whole
Yeah,
world
that is
Because-
true, isn't
yeah,
it?
because
Like,
you
there's no
yeah.
life insurance. There's no
Yeah,
nothing.
Yeah,
They're
because
so
you
young.
you put money
Still
aside.
18.
You put
Yeah.
money aside for you,
For
for your
you.
children to bury you.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
it's expensive.
But then now you got all of a sudden all these bills and
Bills
it's
to pay.
expensive.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. You
Jesus.
can't work. You're going through depression. You got mental health. Like, there's so many different things that come along
That's
with
sad.
experiencing that. So, yeah, we're
Yeah,
just
that's
trying to be
support.
there.
No, guys, definitely. If you are going through anything like that, Love and Support is there to help. So we'll put both links for the foundations in the.
I follow you guys on Instagram.
She does. I see you commenting sometimes. Yeah.
Oh, sick.
So no, thank you, ladies, for coming on. Really
I
appreciate
Most
appreciate
it.
welcome,
guys.
and thank you for
I
having
know-
us.
Yeah.
I know it must have been difficult, so I appreciate
Yeah,
you
thank
guys.
you for
Thank
sharing,
very
guys,
much.
honestly.
Thank you for letting us share.
No, honestly, having you here has helped me be a bit stronger. So yeah, guys, please continue to follow us, share, like, subscribe, all of that. But the most important message is, man, let's do better. Let's do better, man. Let's stop this pandemic of knife crime. Peace.
Shout out Amaka, Andrea, and Obi. They're steady working, so we ballin' like Kobe.